We have a federal government, which is based in Washington, D.C., and has jurisdiction over the entire country. We have state governments, which of course there are 50 states in the U.S., and then we have local governments as well, municipal governments and other things that also occur at a very kind of localized level. The Constitution in the United States is the most significant document there is. It outlines the roles and responsibilities of the three branches of the federal government and also determines to a large extent what laws can be passed. The federal government has three different branches. The legislative branch, which is primarily involved in making laws, the judicial branch, which is primarily involved in interpreting laws, and the executive branch, which is primarily involved in enforcing laws. Congress is comprised of two different houses, the Senate as well as the House of Representatives. And the House of Representatives and the Senate essentially have to come together to pass legislation. The executive, of course, has the really important task of actually implementing the laws. And so it's ultimately the responsibility of the executive branch, which is not just the president, but also federal agencies and departments under the president's jurisdiction that have real authority for actually enforcing how these laws turn out. On the foreign policy side, however, the president has much more latitude to take actions, even in some cases absent the support of Congress. So for a bill to become a law, it not only has to be passed by both houses of Congress, the Senate as well as the House of Representatives, but the president also has to ink his signature to that legislation. And so it's important from that standpoint that those two branches are on the same page. Otherwise, you might get what is called a veto. Who controls the Senate and who controls the House of Representatives has huge implications for the kind of legislation that the government passes and essentially what policies are made. Especially if there is divided government between the president and Congress, that can really stymie legislation, create policy paralysis. By some measures, polarization right now is as high as it's been since the Civil War. Sometimes those laws become especially controversial. When that happens, it's up to the judiciary, and in many cases the Supreme Court, to actually make decisions about what is constitutional and what is not. And in fact, we do see significant controversies even within the Supreme Court about whether the justices think that a piece of legislation is constitutional or not.